G'day guys, back out on the lake today in the boat. Have got a free day, so going to take the day to explore a few different spots and have a good look around. So water temps are still pretty cold, 5 or 6 degrees, and a bit of snow overnight too, so fish are probably going to be fairly close to the bottom. So I've got the intermediate line set up with a couple of wets, and we'll have a bit of a drift around today, see how we go. So just going to start off here with a fairly long drift. Always like to, at the start of the day particularly, set up a drift that is fairly long, covering a sort of good amount of the lake. Just find that gives you the opportunity to drift across a few different patches, a few different depths and bottom structures and all that sort of thing, and get a bit of an idea of the sort of water that the fish might be sitting in and hanging out in. So got sort of good scope to drift all the way across here to the other side. Got the 10-foot 6-weight Stalker Legend as usual for the boat, and just fishing two sort of streamers at the moment. Nothing too complicated, but can change flies and lines and leader setups throughout the day to suit. So we'll have a bit of a look through here. Generally, where you start off for the day isn't going to be where you finish up, so don't worry too much about your first drift, because in the boat it's not too much trouble to just move and change up your drift line, so you can more or less fish the entire lake throughout the day if you like. So good just to get out for your first drift and just have a bit of a look around. Take note of anything that might give you a bit of a hint, and then you can go from there. Fish. Just made a little fly change there, and seems to have worked. Not a big fish, but good to get on the board for the day. Taking the little brown magoo on the top dropper. Yes. That's a better fish, I think. Swam straight back towards the boat, but it was a pretty decent pull, so could be a better one. Always got to be ready for that, for them to sort of come back towards the boat like that, and you can sort of sometimes feel like, you know, the fish has come off or thrown the hook or something, but you really just got to keep stripping, and you know, most times the fish will still be on, particularly if you did get a good hook set. So you've sort of just got to stick with it. And you have to remember they don't know where the boat is, so they're just going wherever they want. But yeah, you do have to try and keep a tight line, and then everything will sort itself out. Feels like a better fish though, so. Taking the point fly this time. First fish took the top fly, so it's good that they're having a look at both. Fishing the long leaders like we do out here with this technique, one thing that I always like to do is use a nail knot or a through knot for your leader join. A lot of people go with the loop connection, but it means that you can't really wind that join back through your rod guides when you have got a good fish on like this. And it really does make it hard to net that fish, whereas with a nice smooth join, there's no dramas in winding that back through the rod guides. When you're playing a fish, it'll slide back out through those rod guides when that fish does want to take a bit of line like that. There's no resistance there at all, so with these long leaders it really is a better way to go. And it's a really easy knot to tie, so you can I just cut the welded loop off the fly line, cut the perfection loop off the leader, and just tie a nail knot. And it really does help you out when you've got a good fish on like this. The last thing you want is a really long leader and you can't wind that join back through the rod guides. It just makes it really hard to land the fish, so that's something that I always like to do, but obviously everyone's got their own preference on that. But here he comes now. There we go. That's a nice fish. Settle down. Here he is. Stunning fish. Coloured up a little bit from the spawn still. Lovely colours. A couple of quick photos of him, and Absolutely smashed that. Another nice fish by the field. Absolutely smashed it. Top dropper, I think, because it was quite close to the surface, so it was quite an aggressive take. It's a bit wrapped up there from thrashing around on the surface, but nice one there. Wrapped himself up when he was thrashing around there. Is. Wow. There's there. Another nice one. Give him a bit of a swim, and he should take off there pretty easy. Oh, there we go, on the hang. Have missed a couple of fish on the hang, so it's nice to actually connect with one finally, but we've had a few fish come and have a bit of a look at it, so that's good. Shows the benefit of fishing the hang. Nice fish too. Whoop. Often get that when you're fishing a couple of flies, and again the long leader, you'll often get fish that wrap themselves up a bit, and it does make it harder to sort of move around, but yeah, again, just take your time and Might have unwrapped himself now. Battle there, but got him in the end. So he's just he just got all wrapped up in the leader and made him a bit hard to get in, but here he is, another nice one. Back in the water. There he goes. There we go, another one there. Oh, strong fish. Don't think he's overly big, but he's got some beans. Really going after that top drop of the last few fish, so that's good. Get him untangled and get him back in. There he is. Nice. Well, I think that one's good way to wrap up the day. So had a great session there, probably ended up with 10 or a dozen fish and dropped a few others, so good action throughout the day. Did have to make a few fly changes there just to sort of stay on the fish. There was periods where brightly coloured flies were working well, and then sort of more natural coloured flies at different stages as well. So as you said, all of those flies are available at the Trout Tails shop, trouttailstasmania.com.au. Hopefully that gives you a bit of a leg up when you come up here to the Highlands. Try out this technique. These sort of overcast, windy days is fantastic for this technique, and yeah, there's some great fish to be caught as you saw there. So catch you next time. Cheers.